What's up, y'all? We're back and decided to get another one going here before I get ready to head out to work here. And of course, this one I'm a little bit late to the party on because, like I said last week was an interesting one. Not even because it was Super Bowl week, that really wasn't it. But I mean, you've seen the pro wrestling stuff I've talked about. If you know, you know. But anyway, we're here to talk about the trade deadline, or at least the trade deadline that passed last week. Um, Not necessarily a lot of big names moving around this year, and I really wasn't expecting there to be, but definitely some interesting things that are happening in the league, and I gotta say, I'm actually quite intrigued with what certain teams have done or even haven't done, but I mean, we already knew a couple of significant moves that already took place. There was the January 17th move where the Toronto Raptors moved on from Pascal Siakam and sent him with a future second round pick to the Indiana Pacers for Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora, and Kira Lewis, along with a handful of first round picks from upcoming years. And of course, that's definitely significant for its own reasons, but the fact that Pascal Siakam was pretty sought after for a lot of teams, I think, and Indiana was the one that made the move, and they're a pretty up-and-coming team as it is, and adding Siakam to their front court with Miles Turner makes them an awful lot more interesting now, I think. And then, of course, Miami Heat sent Kyle Lowry with a first rounder for 2027 to the Charlotte Hornets for Terry Rozier, and I want to like this move for the fact that Rozier is a younger version of what Kyle Lowry has been. I think he's going to give him a bit more of that punch that they were hoping to get from Lowry. Just not quite the same player as what he was in Toronto, but I think Lowry is certainly a lot of those same things, maybe even a little more athletic, but definitely looking forward to see how all that comes together. They've been coming along for a last little bit after being on a pretty bad losing streak. But more recently, you had the Rockets acquiring Steven Adams for Victor Oladipo and a handful of second-round picks between the Rockets and the Grizzlies. But of course, now you get the deadline deals, which we've got Pistons, and I'm gonna butcher some names here. This is Simone Fontecchio. I apologize if I butchered your name. He's going to the Pistons. The Jazz get Kevin Knox, who was pretty significant for the Knicks not too long ago. But they also get a second round pick and draft rights to Gabriel Pros. I knew I was going to butcher names, so I'm not even going to try that. Of course, Boston Celtics get Xavier Tillman from the Grizzlies for Lamar Stevens and a couple of second round picks. Monte Morris going to the Timberwolves from the Pistons for Shake Milton, Troy Brown Jr., and a 2030 second round pick, easy for me to say. And here's a really interesting one, because apparently Kira Lewis gets moved again, only from Toronto to Utah alongside Otto Porter Jr. and a 2024 first round pick, which had gotten around quite a bit because it was with OKC, then the Clippers, and Houston. Now it's Utah, so yeah. But of course, Toronto was going to be getting Kelly Olynyk and Ochai Agbaji. See, I don't even know why I'm trying on those, but I feel like that's where Toronto's definitely in rebuild mode. Otto Porter Jr. being brought in is interesting. I think Kira Lewis gets moved again here, though. I'm not real sure. But Buddy Hield is a really significant pickup for the Philadelphia 76ers from the aforementioned Indiana Pacers for Marcus Morris and Furkan Korkmaz. Wow. And of course, 3 second-round picks. But man, like I said, I was going to be bad with this, so don't kill me on that, man. We're just going to move along here. Of course, Gordon Hayward. Now, this one's real interesting. He's going to a really young OKC team, and I like this because he's going to be good veteran voice of leadership that I think OKC is definitely going to need, especially since I'm pretty confident they're going to be significant in the playoffs this season. And of course, the Hornets get Trey Mann. I'm going to just say Micic and Davis Bertans, who has been pretty favorable for a lot of teams in the front court. Going to be interesting to see how that works out for the Hornets. Daniel Gafford and Rashawn Holmes being swapped between the Mavs and the Wizards. This one's really interesting. The Knicks getting Alec Burks and Bojan Bogdanovic. Wow, I know that name even better, and I'm fucking that up. But they're going to the Knicks. Evan Fournier, Malachi Flynn, Quentin Grimes, Ryan Arts. Wow, and 2 second-round picks all going to the Pistons. But yeah, Alec Burks and Bogdanovic going to the Knicks. That's going to be really interesting to see how they come off of that bench. Spencer Dinwiddie, this is a really interesting one. Going from the Nets rather to the Raptors, or at least so we thought. And of course, the Nets get in exchange Dennis Schrader and Thaddeus Young, which I like that for them. That's a pretty good move for them. Dallas Mavericks getting P.J. Washington from the Hornets for Grant Williams and Seth Curry. Patrick Beverly goes to the Bucks from the Sixers, and the Sixers now have Cameron Payne, which going to be interesting to see how he comes off of that bench. But also Patrick Beverly off the bench playing behind Dame Lillard in Milwaukee. Well, the history there, though. Man, but it's actually going to be an awful lot of fun to see how that's going to go. I think that makes Milwaukee a lot tougher now. Those defensive issues on the perimeter, I think, are going to be solved a little bit better. Doug McDermott for a second-round pick. Nobody cares, really. Robin Lopez for cash considerations to the Kings. That one is wild because they just split the Lopez twins, but not that they were together all that much throughout their careers anyway. Let me see, we're going to keep moving this one along here because I wanted to say... Okay, I guess that wasn't it, but there was a 3-team deal where the Suns got Royce O'Neal and David Roddy, and the Nets ended up getting Jordan Godwin and Keita Bates-Diop. At least I got that one right, with 3 second-round picks. And, of course, Memphis getting Yuta Watanabe and Chimezie Metu. I thought Yuta was going to be really interesting for Phoenix, but they moved a different direction. Royce O'Neal and David Roddy going to be interesting to see how they fit in. But more than anything else, interesting note about that, I guess Kira Lewis didn't get moved again. But the one I wanted to talk about also is Spencer Dinwiddie, as he was actually signed over the last few days by the Los Angeles Lakers. It turns out the Raptors waived him. Now the Lakers are bringing him in. That might actually help the Lakers out significantly. My man D Mamba is going to be real happy to know that. But of course, that's going to be real interesting because that's going to add to what they already have with AD, LeBron, Austin Reeves, who's really emerging to be a superstar. Interestingly enough, D'Angelo Russell sticking around, as he's kind of seemed like he's been a little lost in the shuffle, although he's kind of playing better lately, but not real sure on that one. But yeah, some interesting moves. Again, not a lot of major names being moved around outside of the Pascal Siakam deal. But yeah, it's interesting stuff with the trade deadline all the same. You always expect that to be the case, regardless of who's involved. But that Laker one's going to be real interesting. Is that going to propel them to being right there with, say, the Nuggets and even the Clippers now, who I gotta say are looking really awesome at this point? I mean, and they didn't really make a whole lot of moves, but I'm not sure if they needed to. I mean, the move they needed to make, bring in James Harden, PJ, bring in James Harden, PJ Tucker, and Marcus Morris and others. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong if you're the Clippers right now. I mean, I think it's going to be between them and the Nuggets, but I'd say look out for the Lakers after this move, because I'm going to be interesting to see how all these pieces come together. But let me know what y'all think about it. Of course, like, share, subscribe. You know what it is, and I'll be back either today or tomorrow with some more.